getting closer to Friday.
Leadership, flashing of brilliance and excellence.
Light shine bright everywhere we go. Music for the people, making music for the people. Light shine bright everywhere we go. Light shine bright everywhere we go.
Leadership, impacting society with peace, love, and hope.
Everywhere we go. Music for the people, making music for the people.
Shining the light for America, the James A. Hendricks School of Leadership. Happy Public Affairs Thursday. Programming note, next week while I am in Utah, other than Public Affairs Tuesdays and Thursdays, programming is to be suspended. And you think, well, why? Within 5 days, I'm gonna have to make tracks. I'm gonna be going on a vacation to Utah, and really and truthfully, I need to get out of here. I mean, I love West Texas. Don't get me wrong, but it can be a tinderbox of partisan push and shove. And I just feel like right now it's turned into a reactive tinderbox, and I need to go someplace where I can decompress and totally be myself. And so that place for a few days is going to be in Utah. And really, I would confer with the Lord about it, and someday that area is going to be a second residence for me. And you might say, but Jimmy, why? You love Texas. Yes, I do love Texas. But I feel deep down also that Utah has more resources, number one. Number two, that Utah is a place that can help me a little bit more stay on the covenant path. What a lot of people outside of West Texas don't understand is that this is okay. This ain't a bunch of ranches and people ride horses. That's one thing. Second thing is, this is unlike any other place you may have been. And I'm not downing Midland, Odessa, the lovely community. Don't get me wrong. But there's a lot of rough and tumble oil futures here and lifestyles here. One that I grew up in. Not saying anything bad about it. My mama and daddy raised me right. But really, I need to get to the heart of what we're talking about more than just me mouthing off, do I? Have my mouth off and gets me in trouble. So, let's talk about this. Constitutional government. That's our topic today. And what does that mean? I think it's time to call again for a citizen legislature. Well, Jimmy, you just said term limits. No, I did not say term limits. I said a citizen legislature. With people that have enough common sense to know that they've had too much of the power ride and they want to go back to doing what they were doing before. And I don't think term limits is not the answer. Well then, Jimmy, you're one of those right libertarians, aren't you? People try to label. You're a Republican. No. You're a Democrat. No. Well then, what's up with you? I told you guys. I I'm a conservative federalist. One that believes in constitutional Republican government. David Barton, who is a Christian historian, God bless him, I've discovered I don't necessarily agree with everything he says. You know, because he believes that the some of the founding fathers had problems with the King James Bible. I don't think I necessarily agree with that assessment. Maybe they did, maybe they didn't. But I think too much of a good thing is not that good. And I don't really like to step out too much in the fringes. I'm on the edge of controversial. The cutting edge. Because you see, here's the thing. It's time for constitutional government. A constitutional republic. What do I see floating around? People saying that America is. They're saying we're a democracy. No. Shut your mouth. The founding fathers said this. We are not a democracy. We are not to become a democracy. But Jimmy, guys, come on. If people would just stop reacting to everything that goes on around them and research it. My show, I separate facts and truths from propaganda. And why do I do that? Because propaganda, this postmodernist or meta-modernist propaganda don't give you hope. Okay? There is only one other, there's only one show on my network. And that is my good buddy, Father Michael. His podcast, Praying for a Hurting World. If you want to learn what it means to be a Christian and to get saved, that's a good one. Now, I also have some faith-based podcasts on here as well. But I need to shore up a little bit because they're in demand again on Spreaker. They're in demand. So, I have to talk about this. So, here's the thing. Listen to me. This is where the fun is. We're a republic. But Virginia, how do you know this? I remember my first day, I took a course called Ancient and Medieval Political Theory. And for the sake of protecting this guy's identity, he's probably passed away years from now. I haven't seen or heard from him since he retired in 2008. But in my show, my flagship show, Empower Your Pattern, I called him Dr. Abramson. And the first day, we were talking about government. And everybody was saying, somebody was saying he's a democracy. He shut them down. He said, no, we're not. He said that is a piece of propaganda that is told by the media. He said, that's number one. Number two, I'm calling all of you, Democrat, Republican, conservative, liberal, to put your ideology to the door and look at things politically on an objective nature. He said ancient democracy, a pure democracy, that was ancient Greece, and it didn't work so well. He said, you ever doubt it? Some of our early reading lists this semester will help you. Plato's Republic, the works of Aristotle. That will show you right there. Their theories right there will show you they were the ideal, supposedly, for the Greek Republic. And it's good stuff. But Ancient Greece didn't necessarily abide by what they wanted as their ideals. It didn't last. But it's stuff you can still learn. I'm going to give you guys some good reading list, okay? I want you to get any books by Aristotle. I want you to read Plato's Republic. Alright? I think my audience should be well read. The James A. Hendricks School of Government is not about polls and numbers. Okay? You want some other political show to have that? Yeah, there's plenty of them out there. I just go by what I observe around me and what people tell me. Of course, I may start going less upon what some of the observations around me, because once again, people are starting to lose hope. You know, COVID hysteria and all that BS. Once again, to my audience, I am calling for common sense. And that's what we need to go back to, what our founding fathers had. They knew that if you're sick, you stay at home. You call on your doctor. I'm going to be honest with you. The day that the government has to be in every crack and crevice of our lives, that's when we have a problem. I feel like in some cases that's what happens sometimes for people with disabilities like me. Alright, fine. I might as well say this because it's kind of a warning sign of what's going to be a podcast later on in my show next month, on my flagship show, Empower Your Pattern. I'm a conservative, but for some of you conservatives out there that may be backwards on some of your ideals about disabled people, stop thinking that we are potted plants. Okay? Stop trying to lump us all together. Alright, yes, I don't mind joining groups of people with disabilities, but my friend Jim Bob has a point. Stop trying to lump us together and look at us as just people. People are just feelings. Our disability is only part of us. But I think we need to go back to a constitutional form of government. I think what we got right now is what George Washington warned us about in his farewell address. He warned about partisan wrangling. I thought that the history books that talked about that back when I was a kid, some of the biography stuff, I thought that was crazy. But now that I'm 53 years old, I'll be 54 in January, sometimes I feel tired of all the partisan wrangling. And I see it in my own hometown, and that's why I need to go for a break. This trip to Utah, I'll help with that, because I'm staying with some friends that agree with me that the wrangling is just getting too much. Folks, we need to get away from this degenerate culture and go back to the constitutional republic we're meant to be, where government doesn't interfere in every crevice of our lives, where we learn to gather together regardless of our differences. You know? But I want you to listen to, okay, I don't necessarily agree totally with this underground country singer named Buddy Brown, but there is one thing there's one song I think this country definitely agrees right now. I want you to look up Buddy Brown on YouTube, and I want you to listen to his song, What They Fear the Most. These leftist elitists. I have a right to question if somebody disagrees with me. And I also have a right to disagree with them. But both sides of the aisle, we've crossed the line. What are we doing over this country? It's sad. It reminds me of a judge, when family members are arguing over what's going to happen to this person that's in a coma. This is an episode of Law and Order. And the judge got mad and he said, "Stop arguing like hyenas over a corpse." And I want to say about this in this country, let's stop playing the sky is falling Democrats. Let's stop playing the sky is falling Republicans. We all know how bad it is, for Pete's sake. Okay? And yes, I am supporting Trump in 2024. And if they knock him out, I'm going to evaluate some of the others, which they better not knock him out. I'm gonna evaluate some of the other candidates. I don't want someone who is a career politician. Okay, maybe if you've served a couple of public offices, but not where you've had a bunch of a crap load of appointments and credentials and all this crap. I mean, come on. It's time to take the country back to the common people, for Pete's sake. I almost think we need another cowboy back in the White House. We had plenty of those, back in the old days. Andrew Jackson was the first cowboy president in many ways I see. And then there was a long string where there wasn't. And then come on came Theodore Roosevelt. Whatever Theodore Roosevelt said about eugenics, I don't disagree. I don't agree with that. You guys know where I did. We already talked about the sanctity of life. But I think the part of the constitutional republic, representative government, citizen legislature. But let's stop trying to regulate things. Let's do things the way the founding fathers originally said to do. Okay? Why can't we do that? And I've been about this because I see what's going on. Social media has taken over our political discourse, and some of it is dangerous. Well, I'm not saying totally that social media is all bad. There's people out there that believe that, but at the same time, right now, it's being used for dangerous purposes. I'm just going to say that. We have to be careful. And I think we, as Americans, we need to start developing some cojones and stop caring about what people think. Stop drinking the propaganda Kool-Aid from both parties and start being proactively informed. Okay? Now, yes, there was a time in my teens and early 20s that I was a Democrat. And then I was a Republican for a number of years. But during the Trump administration, I saw how certain Republicans acted. And some of them I respected and stuff. But at the same time, I'm kind of like, come on. And you're talking to the guy who once wanted to be president. Once thought it'd be a good idea to whip things into shape. Put us back on the gold standard and quit committing this to so many wars. Our foreign policy would go back to the way it should be. People can be mad at me all you want. But I think it's time for us to go back to what it needs to be. And you can say what you want about me. You can be mad at me all you want, but I don't really care. Because the James A. Hendricks School of Leadership is meant to deliver hope. Okay? I believe in informing people, and I believe in inspiring people. But I don't believe in scaring people. Okay? That's where I draw the line. With that, I hope you enjoy listening. If you like what you hear, please subscribe and become a part of the James A. Hendricks School of Leadership classroom. Until next time, keep up the hope. Keep up the faith. Listen to me. Jesus saves, and we're all going to be okay. I try to chant this mantra every day. Jesus saves, and I'm okay. Please, take care and be collectively informed. And remember this, from the bottom of my heart, Jenny loves you. I really, really, really love you. Have a blessed day.